Hype. Hype can be a new game's best friend or its biggest foe. It is a very dangerous tool and we have to use it wisely. Hello everyone, welcome to the Lambda complex. I'm your host JJ, and today I want to talk about hype. But before I get into this video, I do want to mention a few things. Currently, I am the only one voicing all these videos. I edit them, and I plan to do the background tracks in the future by myself as well. I make the thumbnails, I do everything myself. But this will soon change. I'm starting to get a small team together to bring out videos faster to you guys. I'm also starting a podcast. This is going to come out once a week, starting next week, hopefully. I can't guarantee that we'll get one out every week, but that's the plan. Without further ado, let's get into this video. So in this video, I'm not going to really go in depth of how hype can make a game better and how it can make it grow, because I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. What I mainly want to talk about is overhyping a game, because that's when it gets dangerous, and you can take a really good game and make it crash, you can make it flop, just for overhyping it. So let me show you guys how this happens, so we can hopefully avoid this in the future. So, let's talk about how overhyping a game will ruin it. So if a game comes out and you expect it to be this amazing game, or this huge experience, now no matter whose fault where this hype comes from is, when it comes out, and if it doesn't meet your expectations, you will ultimately be disappointed. It could still be a very good game, but you hyped it up so much to the point where when it came out, it just didn't meet that expectations. So in your eyes, the game is bad because you were expecting it to be so much more. But now I want to quickly talk about whose fault this can be. So obviously you have the studio, the advertising, whatever it is. It could be the trailer that overhyped it, it could have been things they claimed that it would have, but then doesn't at release for whatever reason it may be. In this case, it's definitely the studio's fault one way or another that the game got overhyped. But it can also be the community's fault. And this is what we have to avoid. Because obviously we can't stop a studio from overhyping their own games and then it ultimately becoming a flop. But if there is a new game coming out and it starts getting a bit of a community and they start overhyping the hell out of it, then it comes out and they're all disappointed, even though it's a good game, it will ruin it. And this is what we have to avoid. We have to make sure that our expectations aren't ridiculously high. Even if you truly believe that it's going to be this amazing game, whatever it may be, manage your expectations. Rather be pleasantly surprised than severely disappointed. Now, a good example of a studio overhyping a game, the most recent one I could think of at least, would be Cyberpunk. It was great disappointment and all that, but whose fault exactly that is? Well, it's probably the fault of, the higher-ups pushing the game out when it wasn't quite ready yet. Should have been delayed more, we all know that. But this is still the fault of the studio. Yeah, maybe the community did overhype it a little bit, but mainly I'd say all the disappointment came from the people pushing the game out before it was ready. Now, a example for what I feel like the community could be overhyping a game, which is actually still happening, the game isn't out yet, would be Hytale. Now, if you guys have been watching me for a while, you'd know that I used to do videos on Hytale, and the main reason I stopped is because I felt like I was starting to overhype the game, and I didn't want to do that because I generally want the game to be successful. So I noticed what I was doing, I stopped doing it, all those previous videos are now unlisted. But when you look in the Discord servers and YouTube channels that make Hytale content, you can see that they're really overhyping this game, and I fear that this game is going to be a huge disappointment for a lot of people because of all these people that are overhyping it. I do spend some time on, for example, or I'm not going to really mention any of these servers, but I do spend time on some Hytale servers, Discord servers, and I often see new people joining in. And when they ask, okay, what is this game even? Then I hear like the mods and stuff say, okay, you're going to be able to do all of this stuff, and it's going to be this and this and this. Even though we actually don't know anything about the game. We don't know what it's going to have in it. We don't know what may be coming, we don't even know what the story is like. They say you're going to be able to do absolutely everything because it has modding support, but, that isn't necessarily the case. Just because it has modding support doesn't mean you can do absolutely anything in it. So they're completely overhyping this game, and it's one of the reasons I've kind of backed off from all these communities, because a lot of people are really going to be disappointed once it comes out, and it's not all these people told them it was going to be. Now, this is a good example of a community overhyping a game. And to anyone in these hightail communities, I would ask you to calm down a bit. Don't overhype this game. Manage your expectations, and instead of being disappointed, be surprised with the product you get. Now, I feel like this is the best way to try and avoid overhyping, because I've noticed that when people are overhyping a game, they don't know they're overhyping it because they generally believe this. So you need people to tell you to calm down, to manage your expectations, because even if you think that it's gonna be exactly how it is when you come out, wouldn't you rather be surprised of what you get than it meeting your expectations, or worse, if it doesn't meet your expectations? Now, I want to make it clear that I'm not saying you shouldn't be excited for games. You can be, but manage your expectations, and you should never overhype a game. You have to be careful because it's often hard to tell where the line lies of being excited for something and overhyping it. Never overhype it, because you will always be disappointed. Thanks for watching.